stop everything right now, because the ugly, worn-out wheat pennies most people ignore might actually be worth thousands of dollars. Every day, millions of old pennies sit in jars, drawers, and pocket change without anyone realizing that a few of them are secretly hunted by collectors around the world. Behind closed doors, serious coin collectors are constantly searching for certain wheat pennies, even if those coins look scratched, dark, or completely ruined. In fact, some of the most valuable pennies ever discovered were coins that looked absolutely terrible. Years of circulation can make a coin appear worthless, but rarity is what truly matters in the world of coin collecting. Think about it. These pennies were minted decades ago and passed through thousands of hands. They traveled through stores, banks, and vending machines for years. Over time, they became worn down, faded, and ugly. That's why many people assume they have no value at all. But here's the surprising truth. Some of those badly damaged wheat pennies can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars simply because they are rare or have unusual minting features collectors want. And in today's video, we're going to reveal 3 wheat pennies that may look ugly or worn out, but can still be incredibly valuable to the right collector. These are coins many people accidentally spend every day without realizing what they have. So, before you overlook that old penny in your pocket or coin jar, take a closer look at the date. If the coin reads 1951, and you see a small D mint mark beneath the date, you may be holding a 1951 D wheat penny struck at the Denver Mint. At first glance, it might seem like just another copper coin worth 1 cent, but for collectors, this penny represents an important piece of the long-running Lincoln Wheat cent series. The 1951 D Wheat penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front of the coin. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. It marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating United States coin. On the obverse, you'll see the words, "In God We Trust," above Lincoln's head. The word Liberty appears on the left side of the portrait, while the date 1951 is placed on the right. Just below the date is the small D mint mark, identifying the coin as a product of the Denver Mint. Turning the coin over reveals the famous wheat reverse design. 2 wheat stalks curve upward along the left and right edges of the coin. In the center are the words 1 cent, with United States of America directly above. Near the top rim of the coin, you'll see the motto, E Pluribus Unum. This simple but iconic design remained on the Lincoln cent from 1909 until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. In 1951, the Denver Mint produced an extremely large number of pennies. More than 625 million 1951 D wheat pennies were struck. Because of this high mintage, the coin is considered common in circulated condition. Millions of these pennies were used in everyday commerce throughout the 1950s and 1960s. They passed through cash registers, vending machines, and banks across the country, which means many surviving examples show noticeable wear today. When collectors evaluate a coin like the 1951 D wheat penny, the most important factor is condition. Coins that circulated for years often show flattening in the high points of the design. On the obverse, Lincoln's hair above the ear may appear smooth, and the cheek and jawline may show signs of wear. On the reverse, the fine lines within the wheat stalks can fade or disappear after years of circulation. However, some coins escaped heavy use and remained in much better condition. These coins are referred to as mint state coins because they show little or no wear from circulation. The mint state 1951 D wheat penny will still display the original mint luster created during the striking process. When you tilt the coin under light, that luster appears as a soft, rotating shine across the surface. Another major factor collectors pay attention to is the color of the copper. Lincoln cents are made primarily of copper, and newly minted copper coins originally have a bright reddish-orange appearance. Over time, the metal reacts with the environment and gradually darkens. Collectors divide copper coins into 3 color categories. The first is brown, meaning the coin has fully toned and shows little or none of its original red color. The second category is red-brown, where some of the original red color remains mixed with darker areas. The most desirable category is red, meaning the coin still retains the bright red color it had when it left the mint. Most 1951 D-Wheat pennies found today are brown because they circulated for decades. These coins typically have modest collector value, but coins that remain in high mint state condition with full red color are far more desirable. Collectors building high-grade Lincoln cent sets often compete for these bright red examples, especially when they are well preserved with minimal marks. The strength of the strike is another detail that collectors examine closely. Not all coins were struck with the same pressure at the mint. A strongly struck coin will display crisp details in Lincoln's hair and deep lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse. A weaker strike may appear slightly softer, even if the coin has never been circulated. Collectors also keep an eye out for mint errors and unusual varieties. Although the 1951 D-Wheat penny is not known for a famous major variety, smaller minting mistakes can still occur. These errors might include doubled lettering, die cracks that appear as raised lines across the coin, clipped planchets where part of the edge is missing, or off-center strikes where the design is not perfectly aligned. Even minor mint errors can make a coin more interesting to collectors. Many enthusiasts enjoy examining their wheat pennies under magnification to search for these rare and unusual features. If you happen to find a 1951 D-Wheat penny that looks especially sharp or bright, there is one rule that every coin collector should remember: never clean the coin. Cleaning might make the coin appear shiny, but it damages the delicate surface of the metal. Polishing or rubbing the coin can leave tiny scratches that reduce its value. Collectors strongly prefer coins with their original surfaces intact, even if they have natural toning or darker color. Some well-preserved coins are submitted to professional grading services. These services examine the coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. Coins that receive high mint state grades can sometimes sell for much more than ordinary circulated examples. The 1951 D-Wheat penny also represents a piece of American history. It circulated during the early 1950s, a time when the United States was experiencing rapid economic growth and technological change. These pennies were used in everyday life long before modern digital payments existed. Each surviving coin may have passed through countless hands over the decades. Today, many of these coins still exist in old jars, bankrolls, and coin collections. Most examples are common, but occasionally a well-preserved piece appears with exceptional detail and bright original color. Those are the coins that collectors love to discover. So, the next time you see a penny dated 1951 with a small D mint mark, take a moment to inspect it closely. Look at the details of Lincoln's portrait, examine the wheat stalks on the reverse, and check whether the coin still shows any original mint luster or red color. Also look carefully for unusual features that might indicate a mint error. Most of these coins may seem ordinary, but sometimes the most common coins hide surprising stories and collector interest. The 1951 D-Wheat penny is a reminder that even a simple 1-cent coin can hold history, craftsmanship, and potential value for those who take the time to look carefully. Stop everything now and take a closer look at the coins sitting quietly in your change jar, because one ordinary-looking wheat penny could secretly be worth far more than 1 cent. Many collectors overlook the 1958 wheat penny, but hidden within this final year of the famous wheat reverse design are coins that have shocked collectors with their surprising value. If you have ever wondered whether a small copper coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, the 1958 wheat penny might be the coin that changes everything. The 1958 wheat penny holds a special place in American coin history because it marks the very last year the United States Mint produced the classic Lincoln Wheat cent design. This iconic coin design first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. On the front of the coin, you see Lincoln's portrait facing right, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse features the famous 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. After 1958, this design disappeared and was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. That means the 1958 wheat penny represents the final chapter of a design that collectors loved for nearly 50 years. Because it was the final year, many people saved these coins when they were first released. But despite that, valuable examples still exist today, especially those with rare mint errors, exceptional condition, or unusual characteristics. And the most exciting part is that some people still discover these coins in circulation, old jars, inherited coin collections, and bankrolls. The 1958 wheat penny was minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins produced in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those struck in Denver show a small D below the date. Philadelphia produced more than 252 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced an even larger number, over 800 million coins. At first glance, that sounds like a massive supply, and it is. But coin collectors know that condition and rarity variations can turn an ordinary coin into something extremely valuable. Most circulated 1958 wheat pennies today are worth only a few cents to collectors, usually between 3 and 10 cents depending on condition. But when you start looking at higher-grade coins, things become much more interesting. A 1958 wheat penny that remains in brilliant, uncirculated condition, meaning it was never used in everyday transactions, can sell for several dollars. If the coin still has its original bright red copper color, known to collectors as red condition, the price can climb even higher. Collectors divide copper coins into three main color categories: brown, red-brown, and red. Brown coins are older-looking with darker surfaces from oxidation. Red-brown coins show a mix of original red copper and darker tones. But fully red coins are the most valuable because they retain their original mint luster and appearance. A 1958 wheat penny graded MS-65 red by a professional grading service can sell for around $20 to $30. But coins graded MS-67 red can reach hundreds of dollars at auction. One of the reasons collectors pay such high prices for top-condition coins is because very few survive without scratches, wear, or discoloration. Copper is a soft metal, which means even tiny contact marks can reduce a coin's grade. Finding a nearly perfect coin that has remained untouched for decades is extremely rare, which is why collectors compete fiercely for the best examples. But the real excitement around the 1958 wheat penny comes from rare mint errors, mistakes made during the coin production process that create unique coins. One of the most famous and valuable varieties connected to this year is the legendary 1958 double die obverse. This is considered one of the rarest Lincoln cent varieties ever discovered. A double die occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice at slightly different angles while the die is being created. The result is a coin where letters and numbers appear doubled or blurred. On the 1958 double die obverse cent, the doubling is dramatic and clearly visible on the words "Liberty and in God We Trust," as well as the date. What makes this coin incredibly rare is the extremely small number known to exist. Only a handful of confirmed examples have ever been found. Because of this rarity, collectors consider it one of the ultimate treasures in the Lincoln cent series. One of these coins sold at auction for well over $100,000, instantly turning a 1-cent coin into a life-changing discovery. Imagine finding a penny worth more than a luxury car, all because of a tiny minting mistake. That is exactly why collectors constantly search through rolls of pennies, estate sales, and old coin jars, hoping to uncover the next hidden treasure. Even without the famous double die error, there are other features that can make a 1958 wheat penny valuable. Collectors often look for strong strike quality, meaning the details of Lincoln's hair and coat are sharply defined. They also check for unusual mint errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or repunched mint marks. Off-center coins occur when the blank coin is not properly aligned in the press during striking. This causes the design to appear shifted to one side, leaving a blank area on the coin. Depending on how dramatic the error is, an off-center 1958 wheat penny can sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars. Clipped planchet errors happen when the metal sheet used to create coin blanks is miscut. This leaves a curved or straight missing section on the coin's edge. These unusual shapes make the coin stand out immediately and attract collectors who specialize in mint errors. Die cracks are another interesting feature collectors search for. Over time, the steel dies used to strike coins develop cracks from pressure and wear. When this happens, the crack appears as a raised line on the finished coin. Some collectors enjoy tracking different die crack patterns because they tell a story about the life of the die used during production. Another factor that can dramatically increase the value of a 1958 wheat penny is its overall preservation. Coins that were stored carefully in albums or rolls for decades sometimes retain their original mint brilliance. When one of these coins is discovered today, collectors are willing to pay a premium because truly untouched examples are becoming harder to find every year. Professional coin grading services also play an important role in determining value. When a coin is graded by companies such as PCGS or NGC, experts examine the coin under magnification and assign a numerical grade from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the coin's condition. Coins graded MS-66 or higher often become the centerpieces of serious Lincoln cent collections. For many collectors, the thrill of searching is just as exciting as finding the coin itself. Some people purchase rolls of pennies from banks and carefully examine each one under a magnifying glass. Others search through inherited collections passed down from relatives who saved coins decades ago. Every coin examined carries the possibility of discovering something extraordinary. And remember, the 1958 wheat penny represents the end of an era. After nearly 50 years, the beloved wheat design disappeared, and the Lincoln Memorial design took its place. That historical significance alone makes the 1958 coin an important piece of the Lincoln cent timeline. Stop everything and check that penny in your pocket. Because the 1957 wheat penny might look ordinary at first glance, but for collectors, it's a coin with real historical significance and hidden potential value. While most people see it as just a 1-cent coin, this penny represents one of the final years of the iconic Lincoln Wheat cent series and carries decades of history in a tiny copper disc. The 1957 wheat penny was part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's right-facing portrait designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head is "In God We Trust." To the left is "Liberty," and the date 1957 appears on the right. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint do not carry a mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint feature a small D below the date. The San Francisco Mint also produced a small number with an S mint mark. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the classic wheat reverse design. 2 wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. At the top rim is the motto E Pluribus Unum. This iconic reverse design had been in use for nearly 50 years by this point and would be replaced the very next year with the Lincoln Memorial reverse, making the 1957 penny part of the final chapter of the wheat cent era. The Denver Mint produced roughly 560 million 1957 wheat pennies, while Philadelphia struck around 680 million coins without a mint mark. Despite these large numbers, the 1957 wheat penny remains highly collectible, especially in high-grade condition or with unusual mint errors. Condition is the key factor in determining value. Circulated pennies show flattening on Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline. The high points of the wheat stalks on the reverse often fade with time. However, mint state coins, which were never used in circulation, display crisp details, sharp lines in the wheat stalks, and original mint luster. That soft, reflective shine visible when you tilt the coin under light. Another major factor is color. Lincoln cents are primarily copper, and over time, most coins darken from bright orange-red to brown. Collectors categorize coins into brown, red-brown, and red. Fully red coins, which retain their original copper color, are the most desirable and valuable, while red-brown coins carry moderate premiums, and brown coins usually remain close to face value unless they are in exceptional condition. Strike quality also matters. Not every penny was struck equally. Some coins have sharp, deep details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks, while others are weaker with softer features. Collectors look for strong strikes, minimal contact marks, and overall eye appeal when evaluating a coin. Errors and varieties can significantly increase a coin's value. Although the 1957 wheat penny is not widely known for a major double-die variety, other errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can occur. These mistakes make the coin unique and highly sought after by collectors. Even small errors can command significant premiums, especially if they are visually obvious or rare. One of the most important rules in coin collecting is never to clean the coin. Cleaning removes the original surfaces and leaves microscopic scratches that significantly reduce value. Collectors prefer coins with natural patina even if the surfaces appear darker or toned. Professional coin grading services can assign official grades to high-quality examples. Coins graded MS65 red or higher can fetch impressive prices due to their combination of color, strike quality, and preservation. In fact, a well-preserved 1957 wheat penny can be the centerpiece of a high-grade Lincoln cent collection. The historical significance of the 1957 wheat penny also adds to its appeal. It circulated during a transformative period in American history, the post-war era of the 1950s, long before modern digital payments existed. Every surviving coin tells a story of ordinary Americans buying groceries, gas, and everyday items with a simple copper penny. Even though millions of these coins still exist, the ones in exceptional condition are increasingly rare. Finding a well-preserved 1957 wheat penny with full red color and minimal marks is exciting for collectors, and coins with unusual errors or varieties can be worth significantly more. So, the next time you come across a penny dated 1957, whether it has a mint mark or not, take a closer look. Examine Lincoln's hair and facial features, check the details of the wheat stalks, and tilt the coin under light to see if any original mint luster remains. Look carefully for unusual markings that might indicate a mint error. While most 1957 wheat pennies are common in circulation, occasionally one appears that stands out, a coin that has survived the decades in near-perfect condition. And in the world of coin collecting, even a single 1-cent coin can carry history, unique details, and potential value far beyond its humble face value. The 1957 wheat penny may seem ordinary, but for those who look closely, it is a final link in the long and fascinating story of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. If you want, I can also create the ultra-aggressive, highly SEO-optimized 20-minute script version for the 1957 wheat penny that is designed to maximize YouTube watch time and ranking. It will read like a viral coin treasure story with